I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make fancy thumbnails. So, as I promised, I'll do a short video about, or the next video about modding a cab. So, I couldn't wait and I bought myself a cab in the shop name called Smith's Toys. It cost me around 450 bucks. So I had first in mind to do a Saturn and Dreamcast mod. One side for the Saturn and the other side for the Dreamcast. But I had several issues with the USB converter and the button recognizing from the Dreamcast, so I decided to put in PlayStation 3 instead. So I take for you a little closer look. As you can see, I don't drill this hole precisely in the line, but hey, come on, I did it by myself and it looks properly nice. This is the Saturn side that I said I already drilled the hole for the analog. This is the PlayStation 3 side. You see, you have some buttons more, and I, be honest with you, I prefer the Model 1 cabs, Street Fighter cabs, more than this cab, because the space between this row of buttons, this is an original button place, is bigger than if you do it on original Street Fighter cab board. But you can go to a shop, take the dimensions of the board and make your board by yourself. It isn't that expensive and it will serve properly. So you can use the original joypads, but if I be honest, I prefer the Zippy Pac-Man styles with macro switches. But if you want to go for cheap, I mentioned it, I need analog controller converters. I show it to you a little bit later. And this converters has for every direction of the joystick a separate plug, like those plugs from the buttons. So you would have to replace these buttons here, these plugs. You would have cut down, de-isolated, and do some cables from the converters. Mostly the converters and analog controllers comes with a bunch of cables, so you can use that, put it together, check that it works properly, and you have for every direction a separate plug and you can put it in there. But you also can buy some other joysticks, cause if I be honest, I prefer other joysticks, not only from the handling, or it makes it easier to fit in the sound of the stick. They are very loud, they're very noisy. They are already that loud, like the first joysticks I got on my self-made Kill Instinct cab. So for the sound system, I got this solution. Here are the plugs. This is the hi-fi jack, this is the power plug and USB. So I have to buy, or had to buy, a wall plug for the USB, and I'll show it to you right now. The sound system, cause I'm not sure that the in-cabin built sound speakers work later than properly. So I had these USB boxes up here, like on the other cab I made. It's comes with a volume, it has its own power, so, and I tested already with the Wii gamepad, they work. So what now my standing of knowledge doesn't work is the light up marquee. But come on, I got now 4 cabs with a non-light up marquee, and only the KI who are not modded, the original KI, has a light up marquee. Doesn't bother me. Maybe it works later or maybe not. Time will show that, and yeah, the waiting is the hardest part. So I have to wait for my parts, especially for the converters, the controller converters and the monitor converters, and when they arrive I do another little video to show you how to put it in. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. If you don't have 2 left hands, you can handle a driller. You put in a nail into a wall, or even go drill a hole into a wall. You can do this mod. And if you have a cool machine you want to hook up already at home, or you want to buy something like the Super Console X, in that case, without no separate decor, you'll be in the price range of a brand new arcade 1-up, like arcade 1-up offers in America, and we're in Europe, don't get anything. You're in the same price range and you have a lot of more games on it. And in the meantime, I thank you for watching my show, and don't forget, the modding is never over.
So yeah, the most boring part is, of course, to wiggle out all the plugs from the buttons. You should be a little bit careful with that, cause this glue holds it in place. But just as a reminder, you don't need this anymore after then. So yeah, take care on the wires, but this one isn't a big thing if it's broken after we finish it.
I did this modification already once with a asteroid cabin. This is now this Street Fighter 2 cabin I bought cause I had in mind to play on one side the Sega Saturn and on the other side the PlayStation 3. Why the PlayStation 3 and not the Dreamcast? You would say. I had some button issues with the Dreamcast, and I decided on the reason that there was a cool download only version of Daytona USA on the PlayStation 3 for that. So you have to remove the original PCD. If you have a cabin with 3 games, there will be nothing lost more than these 3 games you probably already have at home in so many variations. I mean, Street Fighter 2, for example. I got it 2 versions on the Mega Drive. I got 1 version on the Super Nintendo, on the PlayStation 2, and yeah, the list goes on. There are so many conversations. First, I also want to mention you have to mod your board. It's easy. to USB controllers. So the converters for the control board aren't here right now, but this footage I wanted, of course, as a little child that we are gamers all, I just want to make and want to show it to you. Now you have to wiggle out carefully, but it shouldn't be a problem. The original cables from the monitor who goes into the PCB board. So one is the typical, no, this is the sound. This is the typical plug into cable, and here is now a little bit more, let me say, yeah, it worked. The juicier cable, because you want to have all the cables in. So it's out. This is the grounding, and you maybe heard it. 2 screws are fallen down. I just feel, are they still there? One I found. This, and yeah. Now this one I'm screwing now around is the grounding. So I also take this off. And take it out. It's a really easy mod, and if you wish, you can work, yeah, when you want to have one machine inside, like the Super Console X with so many games on it, or the arcade box. It's practically the same like the Super Console X, because you can buy this on Amazon with 30,000 games, 50,000 games. I prefer the 50,000 games, as I mentioned, because there are a lot of DS games on it. For that mod you need 2 analog sticks for the submenu of the DS emulator, but you also can do it with any mini console out there, and yeah, you don't need to do that with a Super Console X or something like that. It works. I hooked up already the Sega Saturn on my other cabin to test it, and I found out that the button mapping wasn't that great, but yeah, come on. So this is the famous monitor converter. You have the sound, the AC power, and the HDMI. So don't put it direct to the board, metal on metal. It's not the best idea you can have. In this case, I got here a screw for the grounding, so it's perfect. Maybe you don't see it because I have the angle on the camera here not that great, and as I mentioned, I'm a child when it comes to such things. So I put on the grounding. You have to take care on this number. I already mentioned it. This number is important when you go out on eBay or other platforms like Amazon as well, to buy such a converter. I mean, this baby here is just a regular monitor, so it should be possible to hook up everything you want. Of course, now you need this converter for the HDMI signal. Your console needs to put out an HDMI signal. Also there for the Sega Saturn is an HDMI converter out from Hyperkin. You find this and go on. So here it's important to plug it here in the right way. So now I have to turn this around, so, and carefully plug it on. Now it's connected, and here is the magic with the isotape. Simply bought in shops. And of course my scissor, my knife, my screwdriver, call it what you want. So now just a little, doing it easier. I said not directly to the metal. Why I'm doing this now is just to put on some tape on a place that I wanna have the tape. Voila! It's on. And now getting the hardest part of it every time, to get the brown film off. Okay, not an edge. Yes. Now I'm taking another stripe to get it a little bit thicker. If the cable is long enough, you can put it down there. It's not a big deal. So where the tape is actually, once again, this is a little foamed double-sided tape. If I just think about it, I could made it with this one. And once again, the hardest part is to peel off the protection film on it. So, getting it off. Wonderful. Easy. Once again, it's off. Now I take the board from upper there down and taking, of course, the voltage plug for the backlight of the monitor down. Just feel where's the right side. You can't plug it in the wrong way. This one is a little bit different, but yes. So it sticks, it holds, it don't hold the metal plate. So this is the backup light. I try to plug it in here. I try it out. I don't know that it works. This is the audio. It would come here or in a little amplifier, but I work with this mini box system. I already mentioned it. Plug it in here, and of course this one I don't wanna have it to wiggle around, and so I take the other double-sided tape. The cable is long enough for that. Aha! Once again, the trickiest part of all. And get it down here. So it now holds. This is the modification of the monitor. You also can hook up a little hi-fi stereo system or a little cassette player who has a headphone jack like this. Plug it in here and it will work. Well, so I'm pretty amazed today. My converters came and I did it already with the Saturn side for my A1 up, and I decided to don't wait for the joysticks. I'll do now a little bit, let me say, easy way of fixing the system. If you have a secure, not wobbling hand like me, I got a nervous hand to work with the good old, call it what it is, or what thing, with the tin. I made it already on the Saturn side in a really easy way. So I show you that right now. I take the original joysticks, as I mentioned, and I de-isolate the cables. I take a long piece off the isolation, maybe a little bit longer, twist it around the metal, do it with the other side as well. So wonderful. Take a look which one is the upper and the lower. I think I made, yes. So this controller converters comes with a lot of cables and they are really easy to assemble, and they come with such little plugs. And here of course the new directional plug. So to work without the tin, I just go into this metal who normally came onto the joy stick or buttons directly. Maybe later I will do it the correct way, but now I'm excited and I want to play and setting the buttons. Yeah, anyway, that stuff. And pushing the plastic isolation for this cable over
the wire from the joystick to fix it, so I don't have to use some tin, and I'll do it with that side as well. Just go through like in a needle and put it down. It will hold and it will work. As I mentioned, I already did this once. So now once again, just look where is the upper and where is the lower cable to wire it correct. It has to be the same way connected, every cable, then on the other button, to make it work. So this is the blue, so this is the white. Some cables came in different colors. You're lucky when they have different colors, cause it's easier to recognize which you have to put in and where. Once again, going through, a little bit twisting down, and take the plastic isolation. As well. So I make here a little cut, cause maybe you don't want to see the back of my head, you want to see how does it works later. Or yeah, maybe I'll do it not, and I don't make a cut here in the video recording. So, because now I can say it pretty sure, this is the left, this is left. It's easy also written on the converter as well, which is one, so you can't miss it. Now these cables are now a little bit longer, of course. I make it to fit it for sure and not for looking good. So yeah, a little cut here. See you in a second.
So back on track again. As I said, yeah, I'm not quite sure how to fix the black protection sheet on here. So before I figure that completely out, I'd fix it with some cable holders. Yeah, nothing special, but now I'm wiring the analog stick. Now I plug the controller on to check, does it work correct? Nope. So yeah, get out once. So it's completely wrong. Maybe now it will do something that I
wanna. Okay, right is correct and left isn't correct, so I changed it. That's the right one for the right, maybe? Is it correct now? No. It's the either, so maybe it's here. That this is left and this is right. So these two are correct now. It is basically just a little issue. It would be okay. This is down. So yes. It's looking like a lot of cables, but in fact it isn't that hard. So this is the start button, and the PlayStation has a start button. I said saying this cause the Saturn has also the start function, but it's select. So this is start here. This I made the hotkey, the home key, and this I made making select out of it. So from an angle, okay, start, and select is skipped. So now this is of course a little bit fuzzy if you have already all cables in, but if you wiggle it out carefully, it shouldn't broke, it shouldn't going crashed or smashed. It's in. So once again, I only made PlayStation 3 with one analog, cause for those games I play I don't need the second analog. So which one is B? Yes, that's correct as well. Circle is also correct. And on the reason I don't want to lose the title, I'll taking Hacksaw Jim Duggan. One reason that I took especially this game is it has a lot of quick time events in it. It was criticized back then when it was released for exactly that. Now start works perfect. Would also.
And his opponent from Minnesota, weighing 240 pounds, the Enforcer.
Work. So these 3 buttons or 4 buttons works. With those, I'm pretty sure
is underway. This is one ball to a finish line.
Is this? I have to take the control pad.
Call it what you will. The Guardians is one of the toughest sons of a bitch in the entire business. Now, headbutt. Here's the pin. Could this be it? 2, 3. That's how it is. Here is your winner.
And now a field test.
I've been a lot of superstars in my day, JR, and it's tougher than it looks. No question about that, King. He had to work for that. And tonight, he was the better man.
For another game to check it that it's correct, and yeah, maybe use this short break to put the screws in. Because, yeah, that's it. The longest time, the hardest time was the waiting.
Please select a racing beginner. Please choose manual. Gentlemen, start your engine.
Now I mentioned that I make, yeah, axle, brake, a one-player cabin, so I can now play here comfortably instead of down there. And also deal with the camera as it was in mind of the original PlayStation pad. It works now perfect for what I had in mind. And I now got a real cool Sega cap. Yeah, the PlayStation isn't from Sega, but Daytona. What else I should say? It's a really good conversation of this game. I like it even more than the Dreamcast conversation. So yeah. So, and that was it for this little video series. I hope I inspired you to mod your own cab if you got an old Model 1 at home, or even if you want to get into having a cab to play your favorite games on the system. There are many solutions out there, and yeah, it's easy. If I can do it, you can do it as well. And in the meantime, I thank you for watching and wish you a great time. Hope you see me soon. And don't forget, the game is never over.